So again, today's topic is to talk about scheduling and how to schedule and how to really think about what we're doing on a daily basis. So, we're in quarter four of 2020. Again, it's been a very challenging year, but a lot of you guys have had some really great successes. And the idea is that we're going to start thinking about how we're going to wrap up this year and then how to start scheduling for next year. So, I sent out an email. I'd like to schedule one-on-ones with everyone for half an hour to an hour over the next few weeks, just to talk about how we're going to wrap up this year, kind of what you can do to get to the point that you want to be by the end of the year, and then how we're going to get you on track to exceed your goals for next year. Again, that's my job is to help you exceed whatever goals that you have and to ramp up your business. What you need to do is actually do what you say you're going to and to stick to a schedule for what you're doing to build your business. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about now. So again, a lot of you have heard this before. Our first job as a real estate agent is to be a professional prospector. We need to work on getting more clients to be a part of our network. Again, before this, Tom mentioned, through his sphere of influence, and that's a great way to prospect through people that you know, people that they know being referred to you, and that's a great way to start. But if you don't have that, right? If you don't have people who are referring business to you, if you don't know people who are looking to buy, sell, or rent real estate, then you need to do things in order to meet those people. So you should be devoting at least 20 hours a week. And again, I'm going off of you're working at least 40 hours a week schedule here. If you're doing 20 hours a week, you can say 10, so half your time and things like that, until you have so many people that you don't know what to do, right? And then you can cut it down to 10 hours because we always have to be prospecting. If you want to be in control of your income, you have to be in control of your clients. And again, for some of you, it's talking to your sphere of influence, talking to other Weichert agents. For some of you, it might be taking Opcity leads or taking Weichert Lead Network leads, but you need to be in control of your time to do that. So again, what are you doing over 20 hours? What am I talking about with prospecting and marketing? So Mondays, again, if you hosted an open house, follow up with them, right? Or if you haven't hosted an open house in a while, follow up with people who that you met over the course of the years that you've been in real estate, right? You never know, those people who came to a rental open house a year ago might be thinking about buying. So that's why we say, again, My Weichert makes it so easy to keep control of that. But kind of going forward, it's a way that you can really control, the people that you're talking to. On Tuesday, talk to for sale by owners or for rent by owners, right? Talk to them about all the things that we can do. And again, if you haven't taken part in one of the for sale by owner prospecting sessions, definitely do that. We do them every couple of weeks. It's a really great group of people to go after because they want to sell their home, and we can do things that they can't do on their own. Again, every Tuesday, we have this 4 o'clock call session to go after Weichert Rental Network and Weichert Lead Network people. On Wednesday, visit neighborhood buildings, talk to doormen, go into stores to see how people are doing. Again, sometimes people in other markets will go door knocking. Sometimes people will bring little gifts. There's an agent in Maryland who gives out pumpkins to people in her neighborhood, right? And she said that this year, even with COVID and stuff like that, she's just dropping off the pumpkins. People want to talk because they haven't seen people. So think about these people in these stores who don't talk to people as much. Go say hi, and you never know what they're going to come up with. We've got the call sessions, and again, 6 o'clock call session on Wednesday. Thursday, we have the 10:30 call session. Again, think about open houses for the weekends, right? Call people in the building that you have an open house for, send email blasts through My Weichert, send neighborhood owner calls, do neighborhood renter calls, expired listing calls, and things like that. And on Friday, again, keep inviting people to the open house and talk to people who are renting into becoming buyers. Again, these are just some ideas, right? You don't have to stick to this exactly, but these are ideas of things that you can do every day to prospect, right? And so prospect doesn't mean you just have to be making calls. You can be sending emails, texts, taking Opcity leads, whatever it is. But just make sure that you're spending at least half of your time at the beginning doing this, because if you're not creating business for yourself, you'll never have a business to talk about, right? So again, Tom Ferry has kind of 5 guidelines or 5 rules that he talks about with how to plan your day and how to plan your week. So the first one is that you have to think every week, right? What are my goals, right? What am I trying to do this week? If you have a listing, it might say, I need to get as many people in this listing as possible, right? If you have a client, you might say, I have to set up X showings for this person. Whatever it is, and whoever you're working with. And again, if you're not working with anyone, it might be, I need to find a rental client, or I need to find a buyer. You need to set those goals from the beginning and be very targeted, right? If you've never done a deal before, then your goal should be to get your first deal done. And let's take that goal and backtrack from there and see what we have to do every day, every week, and every month in order to accomplish that, right? So again, we'll talk a little bit more about this in the scheduling, but again, the next thing is to do the important things first, right? These are the things that are going to move the needle in your business, right? So plan these for Monday and Tuesday, right? If you're trying to get a new lead to take out next weekend, right? My goal is to have a buyer to take out on Sunday. And I now have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to find that person and take it on Sunday. Well, I need to schedule those appointments, let's say on Friday and Saturday. So that means I really need to find them by Thursday to get into a relationship with them, maybe by Wednesday. And so today, right? So today or tomorrow is really when I'm going to find that person to take out. So set those things at the beginning, right? So it could be, these prospecting activities, right? Taking a new lead, taking a Weichert lead network lead, right? And again, that's the goal. If you're calling these Weichert lead network leads on Tuesday, the goal is you have a couple days to get everything set up, get them pre-approved and all that, and take them out this Sunday, because that's when most of the open houses are. So schedule the important things, the prospecting for the beginning of the week, and get these things for the beginning of the day as well. So you're getting them out of your way. Following up on offers, right? That's the most important thing you can do. If you have someone who's put in an offer, to follow up on it, to see where you are, to take out clients is important too, but you always want to be prospecting. You always want to make sure that you're doing those things first. So rule 3 is avoid the energy sucking vampires, right? And this one's interesting. I like this idea, but there are always going to be things in our life that take up our time and our energy. And again, a lot of us, especially because we're mostly working from home, will feel this, right? We'll feel that you wake up in the morning and by the time you know it, it's lunch. And then by the time you know it, it's almost dinner time. And then by the time you know it, the day's gone. And that happens to me too, right? There are days where this happens, And so we need to be very kind of focused and very kind of, careful with the way that we schedule ourselves. We always need to make sure that we're staying positive. And again, there are going to be things that take away that positivity, but if you're being productive, it helps to reinforce that positivity. And what we want to do is, again, if you know that working from home doesn't work from you, we'll find another place to work, right? If you know that if you work from in front of the living room, in front of the television, that you're going to watch TV instead of working, then go into your basement, right? Or find a spot where you can work, or, if you need to, you can come into the office or go into an office in New Jersey if it's easier for you. But make sure that you're keeping these people or things that are going to distract you out. And we need to be able to control our own mind and time in order to do that. So again, schedule blocking, this is super important, right? Put together, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but put together time blocks, right? For an hour and a half to 2 hours where you're doing something. And only do that, right? I turn my phone off a lot of the times, right? When I was scheduling well, now my phone's going off now, but when I was scheduling things for this session, I turned off my phone so I could focus on it, right? And I try to do that when I'm talking to you guys or things like that, because we can so get distracted. There's so many things, right? Close all the other windows. Only have one window open on your computer at a time. Only, turn your phone on, do not disturb if you need to, right? If there's an emergency, they'll get through it. So, and if we block out our time, then we're able to really focus, right? Multitasking doesn't work in real estate, though we do need to multitask because we have clients that we're juggling and things like that. We need to focus on certain things at certain points of time. And again, that's why rule 5 comes in, put it in your schedule, right? This is so important, right? If you do not have a written schedule, and if you don't have time blocked out in your schedule, it doesn't exist. And I always tell people, some people like a pad and paper, some people like a calendar, some people like, whatever it is, use what works for you. I find that using my phone is the best for a couple of reasons. Number one, I always have it with me. I don't, my phone is always with me. I don't have to worry about carrying around a binder or something like that and forgetting stuff. Number two, you can put reminders in on your phone. And so it can ping you 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, put a nice ringtone for when you have to switch. And so, put in time for prospecting, right? 20 hours a week is what I think. And find out when those time slots are, right? We all have different schedules. We have pets, we have loved ones, we have kids, we have, other things that we have to do in our lives, maybe another job. But you need to know going into a week what time you have for real estate and set those times, right? Put the call sessions in your phone And don't schedule showings for times where you have to do prospecting, because the prospecting is as important, right? Most of the time, we tend to say someone wants to see an apartment, boom, we drop everything and we go show that apartment. Well, try to schedule those showings near each other, right? Say, hey, we're actually showing this afternoon from 3 to 4, and then block people together for showings. Don't go out of your way, especially, again, some of you who are in New Jersey, you got to drive pretty far. Some of you in New York, you take the train a lot. Try to schedule things together, and so you're best using your time. And again, the office workshops, I try to send them out on Sunday, so you should know your whole schedule to block it out. And they usually are the same time, right? Tuesdays at 11, Wednesdays we usually have either a session of the meeting at 11, and then the two sessions, the rental and the prospecting sessions on Wednesday. We have the call sessions Tuesday at 4. We have the call session. Some of you do the one Wednesday at 6. And we have the call session at 10:30 to 12:30 on Thursday, right? So block it out, right? Every Thursday, 10:30 to 12:30. I think that's the most productive one. I have the most success at that one. Block that out, right? And don't ever set appointments. If people say, hey, can you show this at 12? Oh, actually, I can't. Could you do 1:30? Would that work for you? And 99% of people say, sure, that works. So don't worry about moving around something, right? We do need to prioritize our clients, but you need to prioritize your time too. So again, here's a very vague example of what a schedule could look like, right? 8 to 9, prep and review. Again, go over your calendar. Think of your objectives and outcomes for the day. Review the hot sheets, right? So that's new listings that came on the market. And that's part of our job, which we'll get to. It's staying in touch with the market, right? Do some role playing to enhance negotiation skills, talk about scripts and things like that, or how to go over objections. 9 to 10:30 appointment setting, right? Prospecting and appointment setting. That's going after landlords, that's going after buyers, that's going after sellers, that's doing the for sale by owner prospecting, whatever it is. That hour and a half is probably the most important thing you can do every day. From 10:30 to 11, take a break, right? We all need to take breaks. Take a 10-minute break, a 15-minute break, a 20-minute break, a half-an-hour break if you need to, whatever it is. Give yourself some time to not think about real estate for a little bit, because then you're going to be excited to go back to it. And again, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I always tell people, and I think it's one of the hardest things that we have, we are not saving lives, right? By not answering your phone for an hour or an hour and a half, unless you're in the heat of a negotiation with multiple offers and things like that, you are usually not going to miss out on something, right? You are not going to lose an apartment because of not answering your phone 99.9% of the time. Again, I don't want to say it's all the time, but your client, you can get back to them in an hour. And we're so focused, and I do this so much as well, right? If I'm doing in the middle of a meeting and one of you guys calls me, I'm like, I need to answer this phone call, but I need to focus on the meeting, and it's a hard turnoff. So that's why maybe putting your phone on mute or putting on Do Not Disturb can be helpful if you can. And again, if you have an iPhone, there's a great feature where you can still make calls. There's this little like sleepy thing where unless someone calls you twice, it will put them to your voicemail, but you can still make outgoing calls without putting on airplane mode. Again, lunch and prep. Prepare who you're going to be calling, what you're going to be doing for the afternoon appointments. Again, another blocked schedule to do listing presentations, buyer consultations, whatever it is, or prospecting, right? If you don't have enough clients and you're not going on listing presentations, do prospecting or role play the listing presentation. 4:30 to 5, wrap up, things like that. Not to say you won't have more phone calls, but, prioritize the time from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or whatever works with your schedule to be doing the real estate focused activities, right? Because that gives you from 5 to 7 or 5 to 9 to be with family, and again, we all have different schedules. Maybe you wake up really early, so shift the schedule back a little bit, or whatever it is, right? Just make it work with your schedule. And I'm happy to talk to you about your schedule and what you can do and how we can get you as productive as possible with whatever time you have. What you need to do is actually do the things that we come up with for you, right? If we say, I'm going to be prospecting for an hour and a half a day, a week later, you come back to me and say you didn't do any prospecting. Well, that's on you. That's not on me, because I helped you come up with the plan. And we have tons and tons of tools and resources as a company. And there's too many things that we can do to kind of prospect and things like that. So again, the second job besides prospecting, and this kind of was hit upon on the schedule, is to be a market expert, right? We need to know what's going on. What is the average sale price in your target market? What is the average sale price in Manhattan or Brooklyn or Queens? What new developments are going up in these neighborhoods? How much is an average? And again, Tom touched on this before the meeting. What is an average rental in Tribeca right now? Well, they're giving away these crazy incentives, so it's gone down a bit. If you don't know that, then you're not going to be able to be an asset to your clients. And that's what we need to be, a resource, right? And so the other half of your week, when you're not with clients, and again, this is a 40 hours a week, your schedule should be to be doing prospecting and market research until you have so many clients that you don't do that, and you kind of make it a little bit lower. But half your 40-hour work week should be that. Half that should be market research and insight, and the other time is taking out clients. So what can you do to better get a sense of the market? Well, you can visit new developments, and a lot of them are doing virtual tours these days, or you can look online at these developments. But the nice thing about these things is that you get a sense of what's going on in a neighborhood. You can preview open listing rental properties. Again, many of you have been using RentHop to do this. We can basically start getting clients off of RentHop. So seeing listings, taking pictures, it helps you to market yourself. Do some workshops, right? Through Weichert, through Rebney, we have them all the time. So don't worry if your schedule is weird or whatever, we can find ones that work for you. A lot of them are also recorded. I record all my sessions and put them, or most of our sessions, and put them onto YouTube. So you can watch some of those if you haven't. Network with other Weichert agents. Call and introduce yourself. Hey, I work in New York. My specialty is downtown, uptown, Queens, the Bronx, Harlem, wherever it is. And say, you might know people moving to your market, right? Those of you who are dual licensed in New Jersey, I was just told by one of the managers that 5 of their listings that they had were just bought by people who lived in Brooklyn, right? Like people are moving from Brooklyn to New Jersey. People are moving from uptown to New Jersey. People moving from Staten Island to New Jersey. And so those people often have places to sell. And so tell them, hey, I work in New York. I would love to help you with anyone that comes across any of your open houses or anything like that that's looking to do anything in New York. Maybe they have something to rent, something to sell. Who knows what it is? Follow up with them by email, send them a card, just get into a relationship with Weichert agents, because there are great referrals. And again, a lot of times they come through me and they go out to agents, but isn't it better if you're creating your own leads? And then, it's not me giving them to one of the agents who knows that area, it's you creating them for yourself. You can also create items of value for your sphere. Again, prospecting through my Weichert in the terms of drip campaigns, cold to core messages, social media posts, whatever it is, that is something that helps you learn the market, right? Hey, here are 2 new developments in Hudson Square. Hey, X just reopened, neighbor, whatever it is, you can do that to kind of work on your marketing. So that is it from me for this. I'm going to stop the recording.